Welcome to Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae, the podcast where we empower and inspire you to achieve unstoppable confidence and self-belief. I'm your host, Kalia Janae, a wife, mom, entrepreneur, as well as a certified life coach and motivational speaker with a background in humanities and communication. I'm excited to navigate this transformative journey with you. In each episode, I'll bring you candid conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories from remarkable women who have conquered many challenges and risen to new heights. Get ready to have your crown straightened as we listen, learn, and laugh together so we can level up. Let's dive in. All right. Hello and welcome to this episode of Crown Level Confidence. We are connecting women worldwide to help them go from one level of confidence to their next. I'm so excited to have with me here Karen S. Brown. Karen, welcome to the conversation.
Inviting me.
Absolutely, of course. And I know Karen through professional means. We have had some overlap in other businesses and endeavors. And for the past couple of years now, I have just been so impressed by your professionalism and your poise. I've seen you operate under pressure. I've seen you just handle so many different situations and personalities and things over the years. And I'm just so happy to be having this conversation with you. And I just know that someone somewhere, in some way, is going to get something they need out of our conversation today. So let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, what excites you about this time in your life? What's going on?
What's exciting about this time in my life, Kalia, is just all the growth that's taking place, not only within me, but then in people around me. And when I say the people around me, it's always so encouraging to see things happening in other people when you're kind of taking you outside of yourself and you can observe things, and that really kind of supports you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing is ever, achieved alone, right? Like, we don't live on an island. So I always say, when people come to me, oh, congratulations for this and congratulations for that, I'm always, first of all, let me give glory and honor to God. And then secondly, it's all the people that you may or may not see behind me that really help to make it happen, because it is not a win of one, okay? So that's so refreshing to hear you say. You want to share a little bit about your family with us?
Well, I just feel so fortunate that even though my family is considered small, it's really a mighty family. And what excites me about my family is that my mom passed away when I was 16 years old. And for me to be in the position now where I have 3 grown, successful adult children, I have 5 grandchildren, and now I have 2 great grands, I just feel like that I just really, really hit it big. And that just really excites me, because my mother didn't even get to see me grow up. And yet I get to experience life through my children, grandchildren, and now my great grands. And so that's what's exciting for me.
That is truly exciting. And that's a whole blessing and a testimony in and of itself. Wow, a whole legacy. Karen, congratulations. I'm just now learning this, y'all. I didn't know. Karen's out here with grands and great grands. I had no idea that she had grown children even when we first met, and here she is blowing my mind with extra generations.
When people say, you don't look like you have that many, I'm like, well, I didn't have them all that time.
Right.
I only had the 3.
Right, yeah, right. But still, they're still a part of you. And I'm sure that each one of them, no matter which generation they are, they've got a light that shines back to you, a reflection of something that you've instilled in them. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, everyone, that's our co-host. That's my co-host, baby Diana. You may hear her in the background from time to time. Hopefully she cooperates today, but this is a little sidebar here because we're all girlfriends just having a conversation. I was a little conflicted. All of the other episodes, I had built-in childcare. So I was in California recording, I was in Florida recording, and I had friends and family around for built-in childcare. And today, Karen, you get the honor of being my first episode here alone. So, mommyhood is never on break, necessarily. So I said, all right, well, we may have a co-host who voices her opinion from time to time, and that's okay. And I just decided to take the opportunity to say, you know what? If I can be an inspiration to a mom on a mission, right, who's building her brand and doing what God has called her to do, sometimes you just have to get that baby on your hip and keep moving.
And that's what we as women do. When you talk about the times where we've had overlap and we've done different things together, Kalia, we can have a things to do list. And I always say I write my things to do list in pencil because we know that it's going to change. And if you already know that it's going to change and you're open to change, then you don't get rattled as easily.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a difference too between being open to change and people who are just like in the wind, right? Like, oh, I just go with the flow. I'm like, well, what direction is the flow going and who's steering the boat? And I need a little bit more information about the flow before I just go with it. But I think that we can be involved, right? Like, we can't control everything around us, but we can be mindful, right? And we can do our part. And I think that's so important, that middle ground there.
Exactly. And those people that want to go with the flow, then you quickly figure out that you're not going to be able to flow with them. And so they need to flow on down the river to somebody else.
You can just go ahead and pass me by, y'all.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness. So let me ask you this. Since we're talking about flowing and rivers and all that stuff, do you have a favorite place you've traveled or a bucket list location in mind?
One of the favorite places that I traveled to was Aruba.
Ooh.
And I went to Aruba as part of a cruise. So that was one of the ports that we stopped at. And I definitely enjoyed it so much that would be a place that I would go back to and directly, stay there for a little while. I love the people. I love the whole atmosphere in terms of the weather. The beaches were beautiful. And I think that half of the battle anywhere you go is with the people. So if you feel welcomed, if you feel comfortable, then that, really makes it be a better experience. And so that's one of my most favorite places. And then the place that's on my bucket list is really kind of two places. The first place is that I would love to go on an Alaskan cruise. I've heard so much about it, people, different experiences when they went, and I want to do the whale watching. And I would hope to be there during the white nights, the time where the sun and the moon is up together.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I think Diana wants to go too. She said, oh, that sounds
She's
amazing.
Applauding that. She wants to get her bathing suit on and go on a cruise.
Yeah. She wants to go everywhere.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's go.
And what really fascinates me about that is that you think about Alaska. I live in Chicago. Here it is, March 29th, and we had snow a little bit this morning. So it's unexpected, but historically you might think about Alaska as being cold, but then I think about, well, I'm on the ship, and so I have a little bit more control over the weather. It's just something that I want to experience.
Yeah,
and one
absolutely.
of my dream vacations is to go to Jamaica, to the Trial Resort, and to take all my children, their significant others, the grandchildren, and the great-grands, and we all rent a big house together and spend a week together. I would love to do that.
That sounds amazing. I mean, Daniel might not like this, but you can adopt me. I'll go.
Yeah, just you and the baby gonna come.
Yeah, we'll go, huh, Mom? No, but that's wonderful. Just the simple thought that you want to do that for your family, that's a big deal. I was there too. You were describing it. I was on the ship, I had my little fur shawl, I'm looking at the glaciers underneath the heat. I'm sure they have heat lamps. on the little decks. They have to, right? Alaskan cruise.
I don't know what time of year. I haven't researched it that much to know what time of year, but I'm sure that, you know, when the sun is out, and even if you're getting the breeze off the water, it's still an experience. You know,
absolutely.
It's still an experience.
I mean, people are doing it, so there's no reason why you can't. Right?
Exactly.
That's part of confidence building, is saying, hey, either you're thinking it so it's possible, or someone's already done it so we know it's possible. You know, there's no reason why you can't
worry about being a pioneer.
Right, exactly. Just within your own family, your own circle, right? Because sometimes in my experience, is more of the challenge, right? I'll have seen it done, I'll have heard of it, and I bring it back to my family and my circle, and they go, what? And they don't quite have the same vision sometimes, you know, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to stand apart, and then they get on board. And sometimes they don't even get on board after that, but it doesn't change your purpose, right?
And that's why we're all individuals, because if we were all the same, it would be pretty boring.
Yeah, that is true. All right, let's keep this show on the road. So, besides cruising, obviously, what would you say are some of your favorite pastimes?
Well, I love watching TV, and I love movies the best. I love going to the theater. I like the big screen action. I love the interaction with the audience so that you can hear other people's emotions and things throughout the movie. And so I really do like movies, live entertainment, music. Yes.
That's awesome. I love going to the movies. But you know what? So ever since we had, the pandemic, I've been really discerning over which movies. I feel like some movies I can watch at home, but there are some movies that belong in the theater for the first time. After I've already seen it, then I can watch it, at home or whatever. But I need that Dolby Digital. I want the hot, buttery, salty popcorn with jalapenos. I want, my icy. I want to do the thing like you're talking about. Me and my husband, we whisper to each other, trying to figure out the movie while we're watching it. I bet he's the killer, or whatever it is, right? We've got our own. Who was it back in the day that was famous? Oh shoot, what were the two guys, the critics?
Roger and Ebert.
Yeah, Robert. Yeah, that's us.
What's a movie without snacks?
Right. Oh yeah. Not to mention the ones that we bring in that just get my purse, Yeah,
we have some theaters here that have nerve enough to search your purse before you go in.
Wow.
I don't like that theater.
Yeah, right? Wait a minute. Right? Let me have my hot Cheetos in the theater, huh? You guys, they don't even sell those. She's fascinated. You'll be on a podcast one day, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Much sooner than we are.
Right? Oh, you guys can't see the video, but Diana is so into it. Yeah. All right. Nothing like doing family and business at the same time. Right, Mom?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, we're here obviously to continue to get to know each other. I love it. I've always enjoyed every conversation I've had with you, even the ones where we just had to figure some things out on behalf of our clients, because woof. But not just for my purpose, for the purpose for the women that are listening, can you share with us a time in your life, either personally or professionally, where Karen the woman, or Karen the mom, or Karen the CEO of VA4You, you knew you were in one spot in your life, but you had a vision to go bigger, to increase, but you just weren't quite sure how to get there. But then you got there, right? How did you get there? How does Karen the woman get up and say, okay, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna go for it?
Well, sometimes, Kalia, quite frankly, it hasn't been a forethought. It hasn't been something that was planned out. It was a situation that occurred, and then I might have just spoken out loud, what's next? What am I going to do? And I think that when I open up my mind, I'll open up my mouth, that it actually opens up my mind to be able to receive what the next thing is going to be. Specifically, I don't think that I ever really had the idea about having a virtual assistant business. And you hear the saying, necessity is the mother of invention. Mm-hmm. Well, the necessity was the pandemic. Because during the pandemic, that gave us time to be more open and to think and to do some things that we might not have had time to do previously. So for me, that was volunteering on a more consistent basis. I was able to volunteer in my corporate job because that was part of their structure, that everybody got so many hours to volunteer with their favorite charity or maybe a campaign that we were working on in the office. But left to your own devices, then I decided to use the pandemic time to reach out to some people that I hadn't been in contact with for a while and to learn more about their business than I was volunteering. And the specific young lady that I was working with, her and her husband had both had COVID. And so she was trying to rebuild her business from being down for so long. And while I was helping her, she said that she couldn't imagine how she had been doing this all along without me. And so then we just started saying, her little tagline always was, make your next move your best move. Okay. In between tasks, every week or so, she'd say, so have you decided what you're gonna do? And I said, no, I'm still thinking about it. And she says, well, don't forget, make your next move your best move, okay? Like, don't go back. And so I started reciting that and thinking that. And then even when I was looking for a corporate job, I was being bold about how much money I was asking for, and I was raising the dollar amount, and they kept saying, okay. The pandemic went longer than we expected, then people started backpedaling and said, well, the job is still viable, but we're not going to pay what we were talking about before. Because now, of course, they're assessing the fact that they've got all this office space that they're paying for that nobody's utilizing and everything. So they're trying to cut corners. But because I had been still, I had been talking to the universe and opening up my possibilities, I clearly heard God say, you are not on sale. So I was able to say, no, thank you.
Wow.
And
you are not on sale. I like that.
The rest is history, as they say.
I love it. I love it. That is amazing, Karen. You know what I'm hearing is you have to be prepared in order to be confident, right? Because without preparation is how we end up scrambling, right? And then we get into desperation mode, and then we just feel like we have to accept whatever we can get. And a lot of times that is the discount, right? Like, we're not getting what we deserve because we just feel like we have to get, whatever is available. Well, whatever we think is available, because if we knew our true worth and we were prepared, then that would be available to us, right?
Right.
But it's like hidden away. My husband's a gamer. So I watch him play. Yeah, I watch him play video games, and some of the games, very few of the games I play with him. But I imagine it in a situation where it's like, it's what we deserve according to our worth and our talents and what we need to be compensated, especially as women, is behind this like locked level, right? It's like hidden. And then, but we need to do all this personal growth and get all these achievements and do all these like little things before it's like, boop, you've unlocked a new level. Here's your prize. And a lot of times it's the personal work that we need in order to grow our confidence to get that prize of, a salary increase, or I don't know, dating and relationships, whatever it is that we desire, on the inside, we're able to get it, on the outside because we were prepared to know we deserved that thing and to hold out for it, or even to articulate and be able to tell the powers that be to give it to us, right? Like, you had to know what your time was worth in order to say, I saw your salary offering, but I come back with this much.
Mm-hmm.
right? Not everybody knows how to do that. And I learned that, myself as well, coming out of college once upon a time, many years ago. I ended up in a position working for a corporation where I was making almost six figures right after college. And a lot of people, that's shocking or that's surprising, or, that's unheard of. But it was just a matter of, okay, well, I've got the experience they were looking for because I had leadership experience. And, just a number of different things where I didn't have to feel ashamed to go after what it was I deserved. That was the whole reason for going to school. Right?
Yep.
So I just think, that is so important. So what would you say to the woman who, knows, right? She can kind of see it. It's there, but it's a little bit blurry. She doesn't really have the path as to how to get it. How would you encourage her? Because what I heard you say that you did, immediately was open up your mouth so that you could open up your mind, which is powerful. How do people do that though? Because I know how to do it, you know how to do it, but there are so many people that it sounds great, but they're still a little stuck. That's like, well, okay.
I think that sometimes we're stuck because there's too much noise.
Okay.
So again, reaching back to the pandemic, there was plenty of time where there was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And you could use that quiet time for whatever is your niche or your preference. It could be that you like to journal, so you can get those thoughts out your head. It could be that you want to spend time researching to find out what your next direction could be. Or it could be such a small thing as even just asking yourself the question, what is it that I've wanted to do that I haven't been able to do because I've been so busy with XYZ? Like if you had a 9-to-5 job and then you had work to do when you got home, but you really would have preferred to do something else when you got off work, what was that? And so, for example, it could be that you wanted to go to the gym, but you never got to go to the gym because you always had an assignment to work on, or you were in school or something. And maybe you could turn it into a business or a challenge with someone else, because we all know that if we have a thought, there's somebody else thinking that same thought. You know how they say, don't be afraid to ask your question because somebody else probably has that same question. So if you have that thought, somebody else has that thought, and you could probably just start verbalizing it and say, girl, how often do you go to the gym? It's like, I just never have time to go to the gym. Well, now that's confirmation of what you're thinking. And then you could tack up with that person and say, well, why don't we try to go together one day a week? Now you formed a little support club.
Yep.
When two or more are gathered together.
Yep.
Right?
We know the rest. Yep.
Right. So it could be something as just simple as that, of being still, being quiet, emptying out your mind, and then just looking through the things that you write down or that you come up with to decide to be able to figure out what your next step is going to be. What is missing in your life? What is something that you want to do? Like, I'm always amazed when I run into people who have never been out of their city or their state. There are women like you and I, we like to go to different retreats and events. Some women have never been to a getaway of that nature.
Yeah,
they've been to family reunions, but they've never been to anything that was just empowering or just something that they wanted to do. Like, instead of just going to the neighborhood nail salon, why not go away for a spa weekend with your best girlfriend?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of being quiet, being still, so that you can open up your mind. And then I think that you can really receive what is possible for you.
Wow, that's powerful. I hope y'all out there taking notes. Because Karen just gave us the whole game. Okay, she said, turn off the friends, turn off the family, turn off the TV, turn off Netflix, get quiet, get your journal out, write it down, whatever is on your mind and in your heart, put it on paper, say it out loud, take a partner, a good partner though, someone that's going to be a positive influence. figure out who's thinking the same, as you. Iron sharpens iron. You want people that are going to be powerful. They're going to encourage you and uplift you along the way. And there's really nothing you can't do with that formula.
That's right. I agree.
Wow. Cool. Okay. So I can't believe our time is going by so fast, but Karen, I like to have a little section called the final word, right? So just very briefly, either a recap or a new point that you want to share for our listeners in the final word, talking about leveling up their confidence.
Well, I'm going to reflect back on something that I remember my mother told me years ago, that you want to be the light. And like, ironically, my nickname is Sunshine, and I never actually told anybody that was my name, but it just always came up in different environments. And when she told me to be the light, she said, when people see you, you want them to say, yeah, here's Karen. You don't want them to say, oh hell, here comes Karen.
Yeah.
So
I would say mission accomplished on that one.
So that's what I lead with, is being a light, being the energy. Some people don't like it. I was told on a job that they didn't need all that happiness coming in every day.
Okay. Well,
but then that's a sign that you was in the wrong place.
Right.
100%. Yep. So those would be my words to live by.
Awesome. Karen, we thank you so much. Y'all, this is Karen S. Brown, founder and owner of Virtual Assistant for You. She utilizes 30 plus years of expertise as an executive assistant in her company. I will make sure her whole bio, how to connect with her, how to follow her, how you can hire her if she's still accepting clients, because it's very exclusive. Okay, she doesn't just take any and everybody, but you'll be more than able to get connected with her and send her some words of affirmation for her time sharing on this episode of Crown Level Confidence. I am your confidence coach, Kalia Janae, and I'm so grateful that you chose to spend this time with us. Y'all be blessed.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning into another empowering episode of Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found it both insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the show and share your journey of confidence and self-belief, please reach out to me at podcast@kaliajanae.com. I'm always eager to connect with remarkable individuals who have a story to tell. And for those interested in connecting with me for speaking engagements or mindset coaching, you can find more information on my website, kaliajanae.com. I'd love to hear from you and explore how we can work together to inspire and empower others. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode filled with actionable tips and heartfelt stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire even more people to straighten their crowns. Remember, your journey to unstoppable confidence is a continuous adventure. I'm happy to support you every step of the way. Keep believing in yourself, keep shining, and always wear your crown with pride. Until next time, this is Kalia Janae, your host, signing off. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep leveling up.